Hello, everybody. Today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind recently, especially with the economy the way that it is, with people losing their job, folks are being laid off, and things are just harder. People are struggling to make ends meet. And this is the time where scammers tend to thrive. And I wanted to make this video just to talk about how some scammers would just take advantage of people and how they will make false claims and how they will prey on the vulnerable. I bring this up because Stormy Wellington, she made the news lately. There's a lawsuit filed against her by the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission. And in the lawsuit, it states that Stormy Wellington made false claims of earning potentials and a slew of other false statements regarding her MLM, which is multi level marketing. And I wanted to just go over the lawsuit and also her response, and then just some of her personality characteristics. And I just wanted to talk about how scammers, they can come across very likable. They can come across very convenient. And also, they're just very engaging people. And Stormy is a prime example of how scammers can come across because she's charismatic, she's attractive to a certain degree, she's very engaging, and she's also very in tune with people. And by that, I mean she can pick up on people's moods or their needs very instantly. It's like once she makes eye contact with a person, like I've seen it firsthand. And I also have a video of her explaining how she sells, or in some people's eyes, prey upon the vulnerable. So, according to the Neighborhood Talk, the FTC filed a lawsuit on Stormy. The lawsuit claims that she's been deep in multi level marketing companies, and these companies involve selling products to family and friends and recruiting other people to do the same. Some MLMs are illegal pyramid schemes. Since around 2014, she's been pushing products and recruiting people with promises that they be making big money, millions. The Fed says Stormy was out here telling people that they could make 5 to 7 figures in a matter of months, even claiming she'd help 1,000 families hit that level. In another instance, she allegedly told recruits flat out that they would make no less than 6 figures, and even talked about creating 60 new millionaires by 2026. But here's where things get messy. The FTC says those claims don't line up with actual numbers. In other words, she lied. According to income disclosures from the companies she was promoting, the reality was way different. We're talking about most participants making little to nothing at all. One report even shows that over 76% of people made $0, and a tiny fraction made more than 5,000. So, yes, she's been lying to people, and multi-level marketing is one of those things that teeter the line between legal and illegal. So they're almost like pyramid schemes. The only difference is pyramid schemes focus on recruiting people and making money off the recruits, while multi-level marketing actually offers products and services. So, and they also make money off the recruits. So it teeters that line between, going to jail and staying free. So, yeah. I also found an article on the FTC website that gives way more detail into the actual lawsuit. And I'm going to go ahead and read that right quick. Okay. So it states that the FTC takes action against high level marketing or MLM participant who deceive workers about the amount of money they can earn. So the FTC order settling the agency's allegations will prohibit Stormy Wellington from making deceptive earnings claims. So, in other words, they filed a lawsuit against her for making deceptive claims, but they are willing to settle the lawsuit if she abides by these rules, so to speak. And this is the rules outlined. Let me see. So, the Federal Trade Commission is taking action against a high level participant in a multi level marketing company over allegations she used false or baseless earning claims to recruit workers, most of whom did not earn any money from the venture. Wow, okay. The FTC alleged in a complaint that Stormy Wellington, who has been a high level participant in 2 different multi-level marketings, used deceptive earning claims to recruit new members to Total Life Changes, which is TLC, and more recently, Pharmacy. So I do believe she was with TLC first, and then I don't know if that contract expired or what, but then she went over to Pharmacy. And the article continues to say that today's actions make clear that the FTC will go after individuals who deceive consumers trying to earn a living. And this is reported by the director of the FTC Bureau of Consumer Protection. This case highlights the FTC's ongoing efforts to protect workers from recruiters who misrepresent potential earnings. In MLMs, individual participants market and sell the MLM's products or services and recruit new participants, who themselves will sell the MLM's products or services and recruit new participants. Wellington was a high-level participant who benefited from recruiting new members using allegedly false or misleading promises of earning significant income. In YouTube videos and social media posts, Wellington tried to entice new participants by claiming they could make hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. According to the FTC's complaint, for example, Wellington's posted a video on her Facebook page promoting TLC that included a caption stating, "I will help 1,000 families make 5 to 7 figures in the next 90 days to 12 months. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but to make 6 or 7 figures takes a lot of skill, a lot of consistency, and I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it is extremely unheard of to make an income like this in 90 days to 12 months. So 90 days, basically 3 to 12 months. I know some people with master's degrees who don't make 6, 7 figures. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I mean, whoever fell for this, I don't know. I don't know, because it almost seems magical, these claims. But I'm going to just continue to read. Wellington spent a decade at TLC, which sells nutrition, wellness, and skincare products, before leaving in 2025 to join Pharmacy. Yeah, so she left TLC, which sells makeup, skincare, and health and wellness products. She allegedly promised new recruits to Pharmacy that they can earn big money, saying, "I'm telling you right now, no less than 6 figures, no less. Repeat that to me, no less than 6 figures." And that she will make 60 new millionaires in 2026. There's colleges who don't make 60 new millionaires in a year. Just saying. Despite these claims, in both MLMs, most participants made little or no money. In TLC's income disclosures posted to its website, TLC states that 76.8% of active participants, which is 23,124 people, did not earn any compensation in the calendar year 2023, and that at most 0.4% of all participants, which is 113 people, earned more than $5,000. Similarly, Pharmacy Income Disclosure Statement posted to its website shows that in 2023, fewer than 1% of active participants earned income in the six-figure range the FTC alleges Wellington promised. In a proposed order settling the FTC's allegations, Wellington will be prohibited from misrepresenting or assisting others in misrepresenting how much money others can earn from various business ventures. This includes prohibiting Wellington from misrepresenting expressly, or by implication, including through images of homes, vehicles, purchases, or travel, earnings that participants will or are likely to make. The amount of earning that she or other participants have actually earned. The reason participants do not earn substantial compensation and any other fact material to consumers concerning the business venture. So in other words, she's not able to talk about compensation at all, basically. So she can't show her home, her car, her Gucci bags, vacation. She can't show other people's rewards for working hard. None of that. And that's crazy. But it's kind of the price you pay whenever you're dishonest. So it's like they're going to cut the legs from under her, basically. And to be honest, this is the end of her business. This is the end of her business, because that is her business. She showed off how nice she has it. Her home, her car, her designer clothes, the hair and makeup. That's what entices people to join her business. And now that she is prohibited from showing that, her business is going to tank. And I'm going to say that this is right, because once you're dishonest, whatever comes afterward, you deserve. But I will say that I feel for her to an extent, because they are basically cutting her legs from under her. She's not going to be able to make a living doing what she has done for so long. But the article continues to state that, in addition, Wellington will be prohibited from making any representation expressly or by implication regarding the amount of earnings that a participant can expect to earn unless it is not misleading. She can substantiate in writing the earnings claim when it is made, and she can provide evidence upon request to any individual who expresses an interest in becoming a participant. Wellington also will be required to notify her downline participants about the order's prohibition and making deceptive and unsubstantiated earning claims. So, wow. Ooh. So they're not playing. They are going to stop her from showing off her Gucci bags, and anybody who works with her or who she put on, they also can't show off on the internet, basically. And that is, I don't know how I feel about that, but at the same time, once you're dishonest, Whatever comes afterwards, you kind of have to deal with it. You kind of brought it on yourself. So, um, I also saw an interview with Stormy Wellington. She did an interview with Multi Level Marketing Nation. So, this is a guy who did an interview with Stormy, and he also is in multi level marketing. And I wanted to talk just, how do I say? I wanted to show how Stormy Wellington works, or how she is so engaging, and how her charisma, how she utilizes it to get what she wants, basically. So this is one interview, and I'm gonna put it on the screen, and I'm going to let it play.
To renovate my basement. And he used the best marketing pitch to this day that I've ever heard. When he came to give me the renovation price, he looked at me and he goes, "Wow, you're an attractive young lady. But what if I could help you lose 10 dress sizes in 10 minutes without diets, exercise, surgery, or pills?" And I'm like, "What you trying to say? I'm fat?" I didn't know that he was pitching me for his multi-level marketing company. And that day, he edified his wife about how fabulous she was, how fine she was, and how I can make money and lose weight and look great with these products. And so, my first multi-level marketing company, we was selling garments and detoxes. And I got in because that pitch. And then I met the wife, and I said, "This makes sense. If you could look good and make money from pretty much looking good, I could do this."
So how did you do once you got started in network marketing?
So when I first got started, of course, I did what they taught us to do. I built the list and I reached out to my family members and my friends, and they all discouraged me. Um, the truth is, when I first got into network marketing, that was back when we would accept ACH checks. That's how long I've been in the game. And I go to
The reason why her family was against her, because the sense that this was dishonest, or at least not transparent. And that's the only thing that I can think of as to why an entire family would be against you taking a job. Because nobody is against people bettering themselves. Somebody will be for you. But since no one was for you, that tells me that they knew that something in the milk wasn't clean, so to speak.
bad check to get in, literally. And I was working at a job making $13 an hour. And I remember I'm just so excited because I believed, and at that time, I thought that long as you believe, the people that loved you would believe, right? And so I reached out to my family members and my friends and my mom and everybody. And I'm super excited about this new business that I had got in. And lo and behold, that's when I learned that the first people to reject you would be your family members and your friends. And so they all just told me how dumb I was, that they can't believe that I got by one of those things, quote unquote, those things. And so I ended up going the alternate route, which is I would get out. I would go to Targets and Walmarts and beauty salons and barbershops and daycares. And I had a strategy that I would call it the 3-foot rule.
So I wanted to pay attention to this part because this is where she shines. This is where her charisma comes through. And this is also how she talks about the tactics that she used to engage with people.
If you came within 3 feet of me, I was talking to you and prospecting you on my business. And so that's really the swing to me becoming a woman I am today, is after being hurt by my mom, my friends, and my family members. I became a part of the NFL. No friends and no family left.
Yeah. So 3 feet rule, what would you say? Just say I was in Target and shopping and you come up to me. How would it start?
So I would compliment you. Like I would say, "Oh my God, that hat. I love that. What is that hat saying? Like that is amazing. What tell me about that hat?" And when you're telling me about the hat, I'm intrigued in what you're saying because most people like to feel like they're interesting. And I've learned that. So I will make you be very interesting to me and I'll be interested in what you're saying. And I say, "Well, let me ask you a question. Do you or anybody want to lose 10 dress sizes without diets, exercise, surgery, or pills?" And based upon their response to that question, it would let me know where I needed to pivot in that conversation.
Mm. What were your numbers like? So if you approached like 100 people and target all these people, how many people actually would be interested? Number one, and how many people actually join or buy something?
So I had a 7 to 10 ratio. I did. In the beginning, it was like everybody would blow me off in the beginning, but I learned that people could smell fear from a mile away. So the
Mm.
more confident I became in that approach, my ratio increased. So 7 out of 10 people would say, "Wow, tell me about it," or "What do you mean?" or "What you got?" Or they'll be like, "Me." They automatically say, "Oh, me. I want to lose 10 dress sizes without dying exercise surgery pills."
Yeah, you put a great point. People can smell fear right away. I think people think that it's the magical words, but you can see the right words, but you don't have confidence or fear. People can sense that, right? So how can someone build confidence? Like just say I'm new, I'm scared as heck, and or I've never had success before, or someone from your background. How can someone build confidence?
So the reality of what I've learned is that you only build confidence through doing it. You can't read a book to gain confidence. You can't listen to audios to get confidence. You got to just decide to do it. And you got to become detached from the outcome. Like you can't say, I'm going to keep doing it if, I'm going to keep doing it if, I'm going to show up if. You got to decide, it's about not now, but who's next. Everything is next, next, next. You might say no, but no really means not right now, or you're just not for me. And I developed a mentality of whoever told me no, I felt sorry for them because I knew that what I had to offer them was going to change and could have changed their lives and the people around them. So I really became detached from the outcome. Um,
This is by far the most accurate way I have ever heard this described. That's basically what salespeople do. Or should I say, I hate to use this word, but the scammers do. They find people who um, they can engage with, who, like you said, people just want to feel heard. So they will find people who look like people are not paying attention to them. They will strike up a conversation with them, make them feel like they're being heard, um, establish some sort of connection, even though it's inauthentic coming from them. It may be more authentic coming from the customer. And then from there, they use that connection to get that person to believe whatever they're saying. And they do that by maintaining this air of confidence. And that's the most accurate way I have ever heard it expressed. And you can tell that she's been doing this for a long time. So, this is the end of my video. I didn't want to make this video super long, but I just want to talk about Stormy Wellington and how she had this lawsuit filed against her, and how a lot of the things that she's been doing for a lot of years is starting to come to the light. And the FTC is starting to put their foot down on a lot of people that are just like her when it comes to making false claims, taking advantage of people, and just putting out things to cloud the mind of people about the reality of making money for their own personal benefit. And that's predatory. And you can't do that. And that's not right to take advantage of people like that. So that's the end of my video. Tell me what you think. Bye.